All right, so we are back again with a seventh grade reading level. And just like with fifth and sixth grades, by seventh grade, we are focusing on themes, on analysis, on structure, on how stories can be told in different ways. By this point, the student should have a pretty wide vocabulary. They should be able to recognize a lot of different sight words. They should be able to recognize idioms, things like that. But by the seventh grade, we are starting to look into how do students engage with the text? How do they understand different forms of the text? And how does structure contribute to the meaning of the text? So chose a classic written around a seventh grade level, which would be H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds. And this is a great one for analyzing structure because it has so many different adaptations. We have the original novel, which was serialized in the late 1890s, between 1895 and 1897, written journalistically as diary entries about this invasion that happened. And that this invasion is extremely shocking to English sensibilities at the time because they are not used to being the figure in an invasion narrative. They are used to going around the world, finding people and killing them with their vastly superior weaponry and taking their stuff. So it could happen here. Early use of it, very, very shocking. Then we have Orson Welles's radio play version, and that very heavily influenced by the Hindenburg disaster. It's narrated as breaking news. It is very journalistic. This was broadcast in 1938, so there's a war happening overseas. It adds that feeling of urgency. The panic is pretty overstated, but all the same, students can understand what's different between reading this in a magazine like you're reading it in a journal and listening to it as a radio play. There are also multiple movie adaptations, comic books, animated, live action, all of which kind of bring different things to the central theme. What is it that we are worried about here? What does this say about our culture? And students who can analyze what all the different ways War of the Worlds talks about our culture, congratulations. If you can do that, you read it at least a seventh grade level.